question I've always had is, how do you have compassion and empathy for people and still walk around in the world? It's much easier just to close down and to not look at other people's pain. But I find that very hard because I don't want to not have those feelings. So I made this dance. From Shadows starts out with a happy family. There's a young girl and her parents. And slowly throughout that scene, he becomes seduced away from the family by his addiction. And then it shifts forward 10 years to, she's about 19, and she goes to look for her father, to try to find him in a homeless encampment.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah.
I want to like more be like, oh,
yeah. And that also will help the timing, I think, a little bit. One of the reasons I started thinking about doing this ballet is I felt myself like not looking at people and not feeling sorry, not wishing it could be different. So originally I thought about this homeless man who I see. I pass him every day and he's like melting into the ground, and I thought, this is the story I want to tell. And it just took off from there. It wasn't until weeks later that I realized, oh, this story is really about me. The story is about my father. My father was homeless for 2 years when I was growing up in New York. I was 11 and 12. He was a painter. He was a watercolor painter, and I saw some reviews that were in the paper in the 1950s, and it said, this guy could be a really wonderful painter if not for his drug addiction. When he was homeless, for part of that, he was living on the street in Chinatown. So what I remember the most is really looking for him, and looking for him in the faces of other homeless people too, like, oh, is that him? Is that him? And that's something I try to bring into the ballet that I hope is clear. The young woman who is playing the daughter character, that she looks in the faces of the homeless people and thinks, is it him? Oh, I don't want it to be him, but I do want it to be him. I still do that, even though he's not alive. But it's just something that's become part of what I do. Working on this ballet has given me closure on that part of my life. And I want this dance to help people open up and to let themselves have a glimpse of other people's pain. I mean, really, I want to create empathy. I mean, that's my main goal, is for people to see the ballet and to feel something, and then when they walk out and they see people on the street, they see them. And be reminded that they're somebody's father or sister or son or daughter. And don't just walk by every time. Instead of stopping and looking at someone in the eyes and saying, you know, I see you.
These chains of my past failures, they bind me to the ground. Is this your idea of beauty? Brokenness found within me. I can't hope for what I can see. This longing that provokes me to be free.